Joa, can you start by telling me about your name? Where does it come from?
Well, my name, I was actually called Joanna and always referred to as Jo. And then as a rather pretentious teenager, I decided I wanted to have a different name. And so I just put an A on the end and called myself Joa. And it's as simple as that. And it's funny that I then went on to one of the main parts of my job is to name paint colours.
What's your job title?
Well, I'm called the colour curator at Farrow and Ball because I create the colours, I make the colours, and I name the colours.
How do you create a colour?
I create colours purely from my head. They're there in my head at all times. And when it comes to the moment when I'm going to make the colours, I literally sit at my kitchen table, very often with my colleague Charlie, and we just mix with little white bowls and teaspoons, and we mix and mix and mix, and we create the colours that way. People would presume that, it's all very technical and laboratories, and it is absolutely not. It's there at the kitchen table.
Were you a designer before you became a colour curator?
I am actually Farrow and Ball homegrown, in as much as I arrived to work there with a huge passion for colour, but really no expertise as such. And I learnt as the company grew bigger, so did my knowledge. And so, no, I have no formal training. I was incredibly lucky to be in the right place at the right time.
When you started with Farrow and Ball, is that when they started with strange or unusual names for paint colours? Was that your idea?
At Farrow and Ball, the names are considered to be as important as the colours, and they very often work together. When I first arrived there were many iconic names already, like Elephant's Breath and Dead Salmon. But I have taken that tradition on, and it's actually one of my favourite things, is thinking about the names. Sometimes the name comes first, sometimes the colour comes first, or one is inspired by the other. And I've had huge fun over the years creating colours. One, for instance, which is called Nancy's Blushes, which is named after my daughter's little pink cheeks when she was a small child. My favourite name, I think, of all time is a colour called Wevet. And Wevet is a Dorset dialect for spider's web. And I kept on saying when I was making this colour, I wanted it to be almost transparent, that you could see through it. And so that is classic. A spider's web is, you can certainly see through it.